Hey everyone, welcome back. So, we are in Redcliffe Village, and you're probably wondering why. Well, let's just say that this is one of those points in the game where it's like, you better go ahead and work on finishing a number of things, because once you do, you kind of trigger a next step of the game and the story. It's not necessarily a point of no return, but it is one of those kind of like, okay, this is a notable progression point. So this is one of those times. Excuse me. This is one of those times where you may want to feel the need to go ahead and wrap up some things. I noticed I had this one right here, which is make sure that Valana actually made it back to the village to her father. And there are some other little favors here that I could turn in as well. And there's stuff in Denerim, but we're going to be going there in the next big progression point, so I figure we'll just go ahead and do those while we're there. There's also a couple of other things here, which is bring 10 mushrooms to the Mage Collective. In fact, I could just over right over here. Here you go.
The mages.
Here we are. And I'm pretty sure. Yep, completed quests. Yep, there we are. Yeah. So let's check in on the blacksmith and see if his daughter made it back.
Thank you, kind sir. I'd never have been able to return to my father if it wasn't for you.
My Valena returned. She told me of your daring rescue. I can't begin to tell you how grateful I am. Take this. A reward for your deed. It's dwarven made and should serve you well.
I don't need a reward. Keep it.
That's even kinder of you. Thank you again. I'm forever in your debt.
There we go. And now remove that from our journal. So now let's head back up to the castle and tell Eamon to move forward with setting up the lands meet.
All right.
When you're ready, we shall leave for Denerim.
Let's go.
Excellent. I shall make the arrangements. Let us be off to Denerim, and may the Maker watch over us. Denerim is the heart and soul of Ferelden. It was the city of King Calenhad, the birthplace of Andraste. As stubborn as a Mabari, and as good to have on your side. If we defeat Loghain here, the rest of the nation will follow us. By calling the Landsmeet, I've struck the first blow. The advantage, for the moment, is ours. He will have little choice but to show himself, to oppose us directly. He will strike back at us. The only question that remains is how soon. Loghain, this is an honor that the Regent would find time to greet me personally.
How could I not welcome a man so important as to call every lord in Ferelden away from his estates, while a blight claws at our land?
The Blight is why I'm here. With Cailan dead, Ferelden must have a king to lead it against the Darkspawn.
Ferelden has a strong leader. It's Queen, and I lead her armies.
Well, if Honora rules, then let her speak for herself.
Ah, the Grey Warden recruit. I thought we might meet again. You have my sympathies on what happened to your order. It is unfortunate that they chose to turn against Ferelden.
Sorry, I got distracted by the sound in the background there. I was like, is that people like in this estate just kind of yelling at each other or something? Did you guys hear that? I don't accept the sympathies of deserters and regicides.
You should curb your tongue. This is my city, and no safe place to speak treason. For anyone. There is talk that your illness left you feeble, Eamon. Some worry that you may no longer be fit to advise Ferelden.
Illness? Why not call your poison by its true name? Not everyone at the Landsmeet will cast aside their loyalties as easily as you and these sycophants.
How long you've been gone from court, Eamon? Don't you recognize Rendon Howe, Arl of Amaranthine, and Terran of Highever?
And current Arl of Denerim, after Urien's unfortunate fate at Ostagar. Truly, it is an embarrassment of riches.
And here's the unique bit right here. I demand blood rights. This man murdered my family.
You have no rights. Your family surrendered them when I revealed them to be traitors to the king.
You think that you can slander my family to my face?
You are either very bold or very stupid to threaten the Tern before witnesses.
Enough, Calthrian. This is not the time or place. I had hoped to talk you down from this rash course, Eamon. Our people are frightened. Our king is dead. Our land is under siege. We must be united now if we are to endure this crisis. Your own sister, Queen Rowan, fought tirelessly to see Ferelden restored. Would you see her work destroyed? You divide our nation and weaken our efforts against the Blight, with your selfish ambitions to the throne.
This is something that is actually rather interesting about Loghain. He's at a point where he kind of really does believe in what he's saying. You could say it's like he actually believes his own spinning, but in his mind, he's just like, how are you not getting this? Why are you dividing our nation? We should be united against the Blight. Can't you see this? Like, he really does, in believing all that stuff, that he sees in his perspective on this. And is not really getting why we are doing these things and opposing him in regards to what happened. So he's not necessarily like, pulling a whole spinning and lying. He's at a point where he really does believe all this. If you truly want to save this land, then stand with us.
I should put my faith in untried foreign hands. Do you think I'm blind? Kaelan depended on the Grey Warden's prowess against the Darkspawn, and look how well that ended. Let us speak of reality rather than tall tales. Stories will not save us.
I cannot forgive what you've done, Loghain. Perhaps the Maker can, but not I. Our people deserve a king of the Theron bloodline. Alistair will be the one to lead us to victory in this blight.
The Emperor of Orlais also thought I could not bring him down. Expect no more mercy than I showed him. There is nothing I would not do for my homeland.
Ain't that the truth?
Well, that was bracing. I didn't expect Loghain to show himself quite so soon.
Notice that Loghain looks at me. He knows that I am someone of a Ferelden noble bloodline, a Kuzland. And yet he looks at me and all he sees is a Grey Warden, which in his mind, like, when he looks at Grey Wardens, all he sees are Orlesians. It's this very strong thing against Orlais and Orlesians, which, given what happened, it's very understandable why he would be so just against that. But it is unfortunately clouding his mentality and judgment on this, which is going to be quite interesting and ironic considering what I have planned for later, but yeah. It also goes to show the kind of mental state that Loghain is at this point in time, where he's not really thinking clearly and doesn't really have a good head on his shoulders at the moment, and is very... I'm not sure if misguided is the word, but he's just... His thinking on this whole thing is cloudy because he's just so against the idea of any help from Orlais getting involved because of what he went through in order to get them out of there. And it's unfortunately preventing him from thinking about the Blight and the Darkspawn as the real threat and not Orlais. This is going to come up actually during the Landsmeet later on. How killed my family? I can't let him get away with it.
I would not ask you to. But bear in mind that he will be well protected by his alliance with Loghain. He always seemed the kind of man who enjoyed kicking stray dogs. I would not have thought Loghain would trust him. We need eyes and ears in the city. Loghain has been here for months. The roots of all his schemes must begin here. The sooner we find them, the better we can turn them to our advantage. Go have a look around, and see what you can turn up. Better yet, find the nobles who have arrived for the Landsmeet. Test the waters. See how many will support us. When you're ready to talk strategy, come upstairs to my sitting room. We can lay out our plans for the Landsmeet then.
So this is interesting. We actually now get an extra little base of operations here.
Everything in here appears to be breakable. It seems most impractical.
So you can have basically camp conversations with them here.
Excuse me, I have to dust the Earl's sitting room.
What do you do here?
I'm a chambermaid, sir. I empty chamber pots and change linens. Now and then I dust, just for variety's sake, you understand? I beg your pardon, sir, but I really can't be seen standing about. The housekeeper will have my head. Good day.
Got it.
The Banorn. The Banorn's role in Ferelden politics. The central Ferelden Valley has always been a paradox. No single ban holds more than a few dozen leagues of farmland. Yet together, they govern a greater territory than all of the Terns and Arls combined. This collection of independent bands is known as the Banorn, and it is the heart of Ferelden politics. No person has ever sat upon the throne of Ferelden without first winning the approval of the Banorn. Queen Fionn, who had the misfortune to take the throne in the 18th year of the Steel Age, wrote of the Banorn, "There have been 3 wars this year fought over elopements, 5 fought over wool, and 1 started by an apple tree. It isn't even winter yet. Who would believe that these same bands now trying so hard to kill one another just last year united to give me the crown?" He's happy.
If one more servant asks if I would like a change of clothes, I will set the house on fire. Your desire?
This is not as defensible as I would like, but it will do. What is your wish, Kadan? As you wish.
We're not talking Eamon yet. Like I said, we have some things to do before that. Oh!
Warden.
Whoops.
I trust you've made yourself comfortable.
Didn't realize it would trigger walking in. Forgot about that. But fortunately, I can hold off on actually progressing, so... Actually, I was hoping for silk sheets and candied grapes.
Why don't we ensure Loghain won't have us all executed first, and worry about how to celebrate? This is Erlina. She's...
I am Queen Enora's handmaiden. She sent me here to ask for your help.
Or perhaps the young lady prefers to speak for herself.
Why would Enora ask us for help?
The Queen. She is in a difficult position. She loved her husband, no? And trusted her father to protect him. When he returned with no king and only dark rumors, what is she to think? She worries, no? But when she tries to speak with him, he does not answer. He tells her not to trouble herself.
Yeah, whether or not... take whatever she says about Enora with a grain of salt, because, whether or not she actually loved Kaelin, well, and this whole thing is kind of debatable, actually. So are you saying that the Queen believes that Loghain killed Kaelin?
My queen suspects she cannot trust her father. And Loghain, he is very subtle, no? But when and how, he is privy to all the secrets and not so subtle. So she goes to how? A visit from the queen to the new Isle of Denrum is only a matter of courtesy. And she demands answers.
That's crazy. How is lunatic?
He calls her every sort of name, traitor being the kindest, and locks her in a guest room.
Loghain would allow that?
King Kaelin was like a son to him, and Loghain left him to die. Does he love Anora more? Who can say? I think her life is in danger. I heard House say she would be a greater ally dead than alive, especially if her death could be blamed on Arl Eamon.
Would Loghain kill his own daughter just to frame Eamon?
We may have no choice but to trust Anora. The Queen is well loved. If Loghain succeeded in pinning her death on me, I'm not sure that's a risk we can afford to take.
We should expose his plot against Anora to the nobles.
And who would tell them? Me? An elf escaped from Orlais? What Ferrard noble would listen to my words? Rescue my queen, and I promise she will reveal all, and at the time when it will hurt Loghain most.
What do you propose we do?
I have some uniforms. I'll hire so many new guards every day. A few more will not cause much stir. I will show you to the servants' entrance. We must slip in and out with my queen before anyone is the wiser. I will go ahead to House Estate. Meet me there as soon as you can.
Okay.
I'll get on it.
King Merrick. It is difficult to separate the man from the myth. The last survivor of the bloodline of King Calenhad, the Silver Knight, Merrick drove the Orlesian forces from Ferelden's borders, reclaimed the throne, and freed our people from foreign tyranny. All true, and all larger than life. He was born in hiding near Cathal's crossing to the rebel queen Moira, and grew up in the rebel camps, an outlaw in his own country. When the rebel queen died, Merrick inherited her homeless nobles, malcontents, and displaced freeholders, and with the aid of his friend Loghain MacTyr, built them into an army. After the pivotal Battle of Riverdane, Merrick took the throne. He married Rowan, daughter of Rendorn Garen, Earl of Redcliffe, and began the long, slow process of rebuilding everything Orlais had demolished during 70 years of occupation. 70 years, and boy, was it not pleasant.
I'll get on it.
It's one of the reasons why Loghain is so vehement about this whole situation.
I haven't been here in a while. They've changed the dining room. Something on your mind?
I had another dream about the Archdemon.
Yes, me too. And I got the feeling at the end there that it saw us, was aware of us, whatever you want to call it. Could have just been my imagination, I suppose. What do you think?
I think we need to be extra careful.
I thought we were already being extra careful. Does that mean we have to be extra careful now? Great. And there I was enjoying my nap. I guess one thing is certain at least, isn't it? It's official. This is a blight.
You know, I could get to like this. The last time I came to Denerim, I stayed at an inn so filthy the bedbugs had fleas. What say you?
Actually, hold on a second.
Yeah, what say you? By all means. What say you? Again? I'm game.
This is a nice change from having to sleep in the woods, isn't it? Something I can help with?
I hope all the accommodations are to your liking, Warden. Please let me know if anything is troubling you.
Is it true there's a prince among the Arl's visitors?
None of them looked all that princely to me.
Excuse me?
Is it true there's a...
This is a nice estate, isn't it? What's on your mind? It is no trouble.
I think we have to go to the actual camp because I think Wynne and Liliana asked me about what happened.
Now it's better than
regards
later.
To the urn.
Pickings know they're laying for an Arl?
A recipe for fish. And it caused me to level.
Right here, old pal.
Thanks, Ogren.
Aye, alright then.
Just had to do that right in my face.
3 cups large. Now bring it on.
Indeed.
Yes. Yes.
She did say she knows quite a few poisons, so...
What are you trying to do, woman?
I was not attempting to do anything, and do not speak to me in that tone.
With the Warden.
Ah, did you desire a demonstration?
Do you believe you can control him? Did your magic fail you there?
You have no idea what you speak of, Canary.
Perhaps not, but I know a viper when I see one.
Oh.
Ah, here you are again. What? Oh.
Alright, here you go again.
Nice to see you again.
So, I found these scrolls.
Really? Oh, pardon my incredulity. I would like to examine them in any event.
Be careful with them.
Let me see. The scrolls are old, no question, and the script. It's written in cipher. Early believers used them to keep their writings safe from the Divinter Magus. These could be authentic. Please, let me examine it.
Here you go.
I need parchment, quill, and ink. What was the trick to the cipher again? Ah. I examined your scrolls. I know a few of the early Chantry ciphers, but I'm not fully familiar with this one. The bits I have made out. This may be an account of Maferath's final days, and perhaps more.
As in Andraste's husband?
I know. It's remarkable. The same Maferath who betrayed our prophet and saw her burn alive in Minrath Rus. If we could get a real translation, well, it could be the find of our lifetime.
Okay, could I get a copy?
When I finish decoding it, absolutely. But it will not be easy. It could take months. The ciphers were designed to be difficult for the Magisters to decrypt. Who knows what secrets we can uncover, what truths we can find. Here is all of the allowance I have for acquisitions. Take it and go. 1,000 blessings.
7 sovereigns.
There is but one world, one life, one day.
I'll get on it.
Good to see you again.
Let's speed things up. Now, let's go pay a visit to one of my favorite duos. I've got 200 sovereigns.
Welcome back. You looking for fine armor?
Can you... I'm here about Drake scales.
Of course.
He's back! He's back! Have you reconsidered? I could make such fine armor with your scales.
10 sovereigns extra. How much will it cost?
Cost? I should be paying you, friend, for the right, no, the privilege.
Pay him? No, Wade, no. We'll charge you.
I'll hear nothing of that, Heron. This is my shop, and working on Drake's scales won't cost a bloody Orlesian penny.
Alright, will it take long?
It will take however long it takes. You don't rush a masterpiece, my good man.
Yes, that's right. It could take months, years even. You should just leave.
It won't take that long, Heron. Unless I did some inlays of... Oh, I know.
Yes, it wouldn't be complete without the, inlays. Of course, the customer would have to agree.
10 sovereigns extra.
Excellent. You won't regret it. Think of the possibilities, Heron. Think of it.
I'm trying to stop.
It may take some time. Let's step outside.
You're here about your order?
I've barely even begun and you're pestering me.
Oh, get back to work. Come to see our fine goods before they sell out? Wade is working as quickly as he can. He really is. But he says you want it... perfect. Come again.
Alright, let me go check in on the guy over here with the favors.
It's so nice to be in civilization.
Did you see Wolf's face when he arrived? I heard West Hills has fallen to Darkspawn.
Your lands are in the south. Surely you've seen the Blight yourself.
Hardly. You know very well I've been in Denerim these past 2 years. Rosalind's health requires us to be in town, you understand.
Yes, I had heard that.
Notice there's a number of people here that weren't here before.
What can I get you, stranger?
Oh, I need garnet.
What do you suppose Eamon is playing at? Surely he doesn't expect us to believe Honora unfit to rule with her father to advise her.
I wonder that myself. His timing is unfortunate. South Reach is overrun. I have little time to devote to politics at present.
Overrun? Has the blight truly spread so far?
Most of my freeholders have fled to Redcliffe and Lothering, but I doubt they'll be safe there for long.
Maker's breath. Bryland, I had no idea.
Be careful how loudly you speak of it. Wolf lost both his boys to Darkspawn, trying to evacuate West Hills.
Lady Andraste, pray for us.
You'll have to excuse me. I'm engaged at present.
I'm sorry. I'm busy at the moment.
Did you see Wolf's face when he arrived?
Aren't
I
you
heard
Bryce
West
Eleanor's
Hills has fallen
husband's
to
youngest?
Darkspawn.
Maker's breath, I thought... Well, it's good to see you're all right.
Wonderful. Another one. I suppose you're here to ask for a donation too. You're the youngest Kuzland, aren't you? Probably looking for coin or men to take your Ternir back then. You're better off asking the Darkspawn. They hold West Hills now.
I didn't know it had fallen, I'm sorry.
Well, I can see how you might miss it. All of southern Ferelden covered by black clouds, the ground rotting beneath your feet, plagues and Darkspawn raids going on until even the crows get sick of the smell of carrion. What's a little trifle like that when compared to the important troubles here in Denerim? There's no point talking about it. Leave me. I've nothing for you anyway. There's nothing more to say. Pester someone else.
I'll get on it.
I'll get on it.
I knew this was coming. Spent all the
This is one of those guys.
Got it. Now's better than later.
I'm gonna test something. Because I may have to relook up how to do the scale armor thing. But let's go back to camp for a moment.
What's on your mind?
Do you have any regrets?
I try not to dwell too much on the mistakes of my past, of which there are many. I would go quite mad if I did that. But I do have one regret. The greatest misstep of my life, made even more grave because it had dire consequences for someone else.
Tell me, it might make you feel better.
Years ago, I was assigned as mentor to a lad, Anarin. He was my first apprentice. Anarin was an elf, raised in one of the elven alienages, and he was very mistrustful of humans, especially humans in authority.
Humans like you?
I was his mentor, an authority figure. He can't have liked me very much. What Anarin needed was time. Time to get used to his new home, time to emerge from his shell, so we could build a rapport. I gave him no such time. I was young and arrogant. He is a mage, I thought. He needs to grow up and act like one. I expected too much from him too quickly. I gave no consideration to his origin or his feelings, and he retreated further from me. All I could think of was how stubborn he was, how he was throwing away all his talent and his potential just to be difficult.
That just seems so unlike you.
Oh, age and wisdom have mellowed me. I was quite different back then. Much more unforgiving. You cannot plant crops in the cold, wintry ground. You cannot teach a student who is closed off and unresponsive. Patience is what is needed, and I learned that too late to help him.
What happened to him?
Anarin ran away from the circle one night. I had berated him over some trivial, ridiculous matter that I no longer remember. I drove him away because of something utterly unimportant. He was a child, 14 at the time of his leaving. They had his phylactery, and they hunted him down.
Who hunted him down?
The Templars. That is what they do. They hunt down and neutralize rogue mages. They called him Maleficar, a mage who practices forbidden magic, deserving of death. He was a child, misunderstood and lost. I begged the Templars to tell me if he suffered, if they gave him a quick death. I got no answers from them. I was his mentor, and they wouldn't even tell me what became of him.
It's not your fault, Wynne.
I should have known better. I had the best mentors. They were kind, compassionate. Why didn't I learn from them? I failed Anarin. All I had to do was listen to him. He would try to talk to me, and I would tell him to concentrate on his spells. He talked about the alienage sometimes, and the Dalish. He always talked about looking for the Dalish elves.
It was years ago. Move on.
It was you that brought this up. The apprentices that came after Anarin benefited greatly from the lessons I learned from him. In a sense, he was my teacher, and I his student.
Then maybe his sacrifice was worthwhile.
And there it is. My story, my one greatest regret.
You've seen and touched Andraste's ashes. They are the holiest thing on this earth, the remains of the Maker's Chosen.
I would not have disturbed them, but for the Arl's sake.
I know, it seems almost irreverent to use her as a curative. And it is also a tiny bit morbid. I do not know if I am worthy to look upon her.
Interesting choices that you can make here, really, when you look at these, depending on how you want to play your character.
I suppose you could look at it that way, but she still deserves our respect. But there is little time to debate this. Let us move on.
On your order, Grey Warden. The Jarl was generous, but rushed. Certain areas could see improvement. We're a mercenary force, Warden. Much of our equipment is self-financed. Were you to commit additional funds, we'd upgrade as we saw the need. You'll have the best equipped force since, well, ever.
Just as a reminder, in case you are going, oh no, you're, golden egg. And then I go over here.
You and your friends are I'm sure.
And I get 100 sovereigns. Just saying. Okay. Now, I'm double checking the wiki page here. It doesn't say anything about how much time you need to actually let pass in order to trigger the next part of the quest, where he actually gives you the armor.
Yes.
By the way, we're not going to bother doing Wynn's quest.
Yes.
You're here about your order?
It's done. I made the armor. And it's garbage.
I wouldn't let a festering swine wear it. Wade, it's amazing. I don't see anything wrong with it. Are you blind as well as stupid? The leg guards are too tight. It'll chafe. The dye isn't even... Look here. I see a splotch. It's garbage, I say. It's fine. Truly. It's a work of art. Here, wear it well. Now kindly leave. Did you bring more? Wade, please leave the cust. Certainly.
Just checking his wares because I actually see that it says you gotta be careful when you progress this when he closes the shop because other pieces get added. Huh. Wow. Wow. That's not bad, and it's really expensive and with good reason. Wow. By the way, in case you're wondering about his set here, this drakeskin gloves, fire resistance. The idea is that you could actually use this to try and help take down the high dragon to then get the dragon scales for this. So, the page here, the wiki page here says for this, is that it cautions you because, of course, Heren will shut down the shop. So, the optimum order to do this is give him 3 drake scales and pay him 10 sovereigns to get the drake skin armor. Then hand over the dragon scales, and then you'll get your choice of which of the 3 different types of armor that he'll offer. Then lastly present 3 more drake scales to get Wade's superior drake skin armor. And that's when he's going to close down the shop. So, he'll usually offer a few different armor types, which is dragon skin, dragon scale, and dragon bone plate. So, I'm just kind of looking at these, deciding which one I would want to actually grab here. Based on stats, but also based on appearance-wise. It does give plus 70% fire resistance and extra stamina regen in combat. In fact, the stats are actually basically the same. Except for the armor. Because obviously the dragon bone plate is going to provide more armor, but more fatigue, as usual. So the stats are the same, it appears, but it's the difference is the armor. Plus, depending on how you want to look, if you prefer, appearance-wise, one over the other. You could also go for the light dragon skin armor, which very much looks like the armor that Alistair starts the game with. So, if you kind of like how that looks... The dragon bone plate looks very much like the armor that Loghain has, except it has that red coloring. But, like, appearance-wise, with the big shoulders and such, that's how it basically looks. See, I then find myself thinking, who am I going to give this to? I possibly could give it to myself, except I don't think it actually comes with a helmet that goes with it. I could give it to Zevran because he really doesn't have... He has these 2 ancient elven pieces. I think I could either get one of the other 2 pieces from that place in the werewolf lair, I believe. And then there's Sten, because I gave him the Warden Commander set. I kind of wouldn't mind getting the dragon skin armor and giving it to Zevran. Just so he has kind of a decent set here. The studded helmet is actually Drakeskin. In fact, does he have a better helmet for him?
Wade, please.
Let me see here. Helmet-wise, he has these here, which, not really all that great, honestly.
Wade, please leave the customer alone.
Can you make dragon scale armor?
You just don't know when to quit.
Why so glum, Heron? Today is a glorious day. Today, I make dragon scale armor.
I feel just giddy.
How long would it take?
Now, I've dreamed of what I would do every night. It's in my head in perfect clarity. It will be the work of hours.
What? You're serious?
Absolutely. The only question is what type of armor. Dragon scale is marvelous, flexible and tough. I could make a lighter set of dragon skin armor, heavy dragon scale armor, or dragon bone plate. What interests you?
You know, I'm actually thinking maybe I would just give this to Leliana, because she really doesn't have an actual armor set, even though I'm not actually using her in my party. But then again, I could give this to Zevran and then just put what Zevran has on Leliana, I guess. But then again, I could also wear this myself. But I'd have to give up the cool looking dragon set, which is a shame. So torn on this one. So torn. Go ahead and play the Jeopardy music. Oh man, just having such a tough time making a decision on this one. Alright, let's go with the dragon scale. Just kind of meet in the middle there.
Excellent! Excellent! Now don't move! There you go. My life's work, that is.
You did it so fast.
Of course, Heron. Have some faith. I am a master armorer, you know.
Miracles never cease. But you're not welcome here anymore.
I need a sabbatical. Maybe someplace warm.
I hate my life.
Did you bring more?
Wade, please leave the customer. You must be kidding. We're done. No?
Heron, more scales. I can make another set.
Dear Andraste, no.
I've been thinking every night about what I'd do different. It's all in my head. Dear Heron, don't worry. I can make it faster this time.
You can?
You worry too much. Just give me the scales, friend, and I'll have my finest work for you.
Alright, 20 sovereigns.
Perfect, you say? Well, there are a few alterations I could make. I'll close up the shop then. No more new orders. Think of the possibilities.
Okay, so... Nah, I want to stick with this. Well, we gotta leave and come back anyway. Oof, we're gonna have to cut this off soon. The memory leak is definitely getting more obvious as we continue spending more time in Denerim. That is. Ogren has the full Legion set, which is very appropriate for him. Lilian just has a studded helmet and just some generic pieces here. Chainmail hands there. Bleh. Wade's drake skin gloves. So I can give her that drake skin set, which actually doesn't really change the appearance compared to this right here. It looks exactly the same. That's funny. Alistair's got that Silver Warden set. I'm starting to think maybe I'll just go ahead and put this on myself. One of the reasons why I wasn't wearing it was because those are big shoulder pads. And they tend to block camera shots. Yeah, see? On this, it's actually not that bad. The helmet piece is always like, man, but it doesn't match, you know? What's funny is that at the moment, Liliana actually can't equip these, but that's partly because I have to level her up in order to do so. She would have to definitely have increase in strength in order to do so, which I may have to use the little books I've got in order to make sure that's the case. Yep, she still can't. She has to have 38 strength. Yeah, I can only have her be able to actually use these until she's like in my party. I'll decide on that in a moment, though.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yes.
Boy, it's a good thing I found that patch, because I imagine the game would be starting to have plenty of issues right now, considering the amount of time we're spending in Denerim here.
We're closed. Oh, it's you.
The Drake scale armor is done, and it's, well, decent. Few things I'm rather proud of, and it didn't take as long as I feared. Odd.
You'd better be very proud, Wade. We can't afford any more flights of fancy.
I feel good, actually. I wouldn't mind working on Lord such-and-such's armor today.
We'll see how long this lasts. Here's your armor. Now please leave. Welcome. Oh, it's you. Please leave. And if you have any more scales, you can shove them. Yeah, just leave.
Yep. Close shop.
Now's better than later.
So here's the superior Drake skin set. More, +1 dexterity, extra fire resistance. Same appearance, though. It visually looks the same. Alright, so we now have the scale and bone armor from Wade. I actually am considering reloading and having him choose a different Dragon Bone set. I don't know. I was so indecisive on that because I couldn't figure out who I would be making this for. But I'm going to go ahead and cut it off here and do a little bit of work, possibly reload. I'll decide on that. And when we return, we will be looking to follow through on trying to save Honora and perhaps get some revenge on Arl Howe. Stay tuned.